Hello everyone, I'm the Lore Keeper, and today we're going to be talking about none other than the Troupe Master, the King of Nightmares himself, Grimm. Now, there's a lot of things we can talk about when it comes to Grimm, like the ritual, his troupe, or the way he randomly hands his kids off to strangers. But today we're talking about what kind of bug he is. Some bugs in Hollow Nest have known species, like the hive being bees, obviously, radiance being a moth, and so on and so forth. But there are quite a few bugs that don't have a known species, and Grimm is one of them. Most people speculate that he's a moth, which admittedly does make sense. Moths are known to have a strong connection to the dream realm, having possessed the dream nail and 2 dream charms, and their own goddess being the goddess of dreams. And it is mentioned in his Nightmare King journal entry that the realms of dream and nightmare used to be a single realm, leading quite a few to speculate that he and the Radiants are siblings. Others think he's a bat, which honestly doesn't quite make sense to me, since he obviously has a red carapace under his cloak. But to be fair, he does have a lot of bat and vampire symbolism to him. However, what if he's a spider? A little while ago, my best friend mentioned that the Nightmare King variant of Grimm had 8 limbs, and showed me this sprite comparison. These particular sprites aren't often seen in his battle, but they do occasionally happen when he skitters backwards away from the player for a better angle to burn your ass. Upon noticing this, we both started theorizing about his species, and we came across a few points that actually support it. As much sense as him being a moth is, he doesn't quite look that moth-like. Admittedly, the Radiance doesn't look too mothy either, but she still has enough moth to her, with the fluffy body and the wings. But with Grimm, the only thing he really has going for him is the connection between dreams and nightmares and his own wings, which I would think are a cape if it wasn't for Grimmchild. For one, he has a similar body type to Hornet, standing on 2 legs and having arms with hands, and he also shares the same horn shape that they do, being most noticeable in his Nightmare King form. And while some could argue that Hornet's horns are from the Pale King, since she looks so similar to Hollow, it's very clear that she got her horns from Hera, as they're both smooth spikes rather than having 3 points. Admittedly, though, the vessel's horns are extremely varying, and Hollow themselves looks quite a lot like the Mantis Lord with their horns, so we can't really say what's going on with the genetics there. Along with that, though, is also the Nightmare King bit. A very common fear is arachnophobia, the fear of spiders and other arachnids. It would make perfect sense for a master of fear and nightmares to be a spider when you take this into account. The main thing messing this up, however, is Grimmchild. At no point does Grimm fly, making you think he's just wearing a cape. But as you can see, Grimmchild shows the cape is in fact wings, but that also messes with the idea that Grimm is a moth, because moths start out as caterpillars. So no wings until they cocoon and become adults. And Hollow Knight moths are no different, as Marmu, one of the Dream Warriors, is a moth caterpillar. He also can't be a bat because of this, though, because bats have limbs as children, and, aren't grubs and don't have carapaces. What is the plural for that, anyway? Admittedly, though, since he's the god of nightmares, I don't think he really needs to obey the laws of physics and genetics, seeing as he has the best description of it is the pufferfish attack? But I feel as if he's still at least a part spider, even if he isn't fully spider. But in the end, it's just a theory. He could be a moth, a spider, or a horrifying amalgamation of bugs. But it's all up to you on what he is. This was just made as a fun little theory vid. Not anything to be taken seriously, seeing as in the same conversation we joked about him being Hera's old husband. Anyway, see you in the next video. Bye!